Okay, another video. They're just gonna keep getting louder. Let me adjust this. Everyone complains that you can hardly hear me on my mic. So I always said if I ever had to spend more than $1 on a video, well, by now I probably could have bought a really nice mic. But that's not what we're doing here. This is just an everyday American. I don't have any aspirations for politics. I don't have any aspirations for any office of public conveyance. All I want to do is go back to my little sheeple life and live quietly and freely here in America under a constitution that protects and defends me, with representatives who speak for me and do work for me. All of those things are slipping away here, America. And you know, I'm going to address the idiot American. I'm just going to keep vlogging these out until I'm encouraging unsubscription. At this point, I'm over 1,000, which is way awesome. And the person who won the gold doesn't want to be mentioned, so that's fine. But you know, I go around and I talk to people and friends of mine who ask my opinion on some of this stuff, and they say, "Well, that'll never happen." Well, what's stopping them? This will never happen. Rex 84, FEMA concentration camps, rounding up people they think are less desirable here in America. Well, people will never let that happen. Well, nothing's stopping them from doing it now. Uh, I'm not. I'm not a druggie, but I do think that marijuana should be legalized and taxed, if for no other reason than revenue. And until it's legalized and taxed, some horrendous fine in the meantime, something that helps to repay the government some of the money that it's lost up to date. I don't drink, so alcohol is not an issue for me. Um, America, there's lots of ways that we can go about this. But when I mentioned to my friends that some of this stuff's going to happen, one of my friends, he's like, "Oh, Americans will never let that happen." What's stopping them? They're compromised. We're all compromised. We all have bills to pay. We all have things to do with our lives. We find that anything else is more exciting than sitting around and reading the news. Well, for the last 2 years, that's all I've done. That's all I've done is stick my nose in the middle of everything, and it smells like ass crack. It stinks to high heaven, and people do nothing. This is an old something I wrote down that is still you know it's still relevant today. Now, as far as my videos that have been canceled, I don't have any idea why that happened. I'd like to address YouTube right now. If you'll give me a moment, everybody look away. YouTube, where'd the audio go for all my videos? This is sickening. I've got some really great FEMA videos out there, but since you did that, and I don't back up any of my videos, I like doing them live. I don't want an archive. Like I said, when this is over, I just want to go back to my life. I want my children around me, surrounding me, and hugging me. I don't want this. I'm here at DEF CON 4. I'm waiting for the word to go down. And I know exactly what I'm listening for, and you know I know what I'm listening for. So, America, you need to wake up. I don't know if anybody's there. Hello, hello. You know, are you there? I mean, because I'm looking around. I see people all around the world outraged, marching on their governments, marching in the streets, and Americans do nothing. You know, they'll, but when they say that, they'll never do that. Well, who is the they? The House of, the House of Representatives is on board, Senate's on board, the banks are on board. They get big payrolls. Um, the White House, the corporate elitists, the stock market, they're all on board. Yeah, let's plug a little bit more money into the system. Let's plug a little bit more money. Let's plug a little bit more money. You know, as long as as long as you stupid Americans do exactly what you're told, whether you dislike, love, or hate it, reject or accept it, allow it or deny it, you'll let them do whatever they want. But you don't realize by giving them that power and not speaking out, they get to kill you. The first thing you have to realize is the first population elimination is going to be prisoners, high-end prisoners. Oh, you don't care, they're bad people anyway. Well, who are they going to replace those prisoners with? In China, when the communists took over, the first thing they did was run around to all the elderly facilities and kill off the old. It was no longer an issue of those people. There we go. It was no longer an issue of those people being a burden on society. They were dead, and they still do that practice to this day. Not to mention farming body parts. It's something that they do regularly. They find an international person, most likely a Bilderberger or a Rothschilds or someone of power and prestige who happens to have a rare type of blood, and they sell that body part. It's a multi-million-dollar industry for these people. They can't wait for the guy whose head gets splatted in the concrete, because by the time the response team gets there, the part's not viable anymore anyway. So good to have nice fresh stock standing around inside gel cells, and you're next. You know, I'm going to mention my dad. When I went to Washington, my dad tried everything to get me to stop, and he was right. Because he said, what you're doing, son, is pissing in the ocean to raise the tide. That's the sentence he used with me, and he's right. I was pissing in the ocean to raise the tide of America, and it didn't work. Sorry, but John F. Kennedy pointed out secret societies and secret governments, and said out loud, which he probably shouldn't have, that he was going to stop this secret government. And for his effort, he was assassinated. False flag attack, false flag attack, false flag attack. Put the country in misery. And right now, the billionaires are killing off the millionaires who have any power or might fold under the plan, the horrific plan that's coming. And if you think it's not coming, or you're lying to yourself, or you hope it's not coming, or you're praying it's not coming, it's coming. Let me be the first to tell you, it's on its way. And they're going to use money to enslave you. And we can stop them. Wake up. I have this flaky sevenfold program that depends on one point, and if it goes through, everything else will fall into pattern. I still can't figure out Social Security, but my dad was fearing for my life when he mentioned it, that it got John F. Kennedy killed. Well, what do you think they do to a little pissant like me? Now, that's a good point. What do you think they do? Probably the same thing. One at a time, or thousands of us, is the question you have to ask. The encouraging news is people are out buying more guns. The discouraging news is they're going to create laws to take them away from you. So now that you've wasted your money, you'll have no reimbursement for the gun that you purchased. So I suggest, when they come to get it, you at least get the opportunity to use it. America, I don't know. I don't want to insult anybody, but you need to wake up. Bill O'Reilly is not your friend. He's a talking head. He's a mouthpiece for the Bilderbergers. He knows it. And if he says the real truth, guess what? They're going to kill him too. Just like they're out to, I don't know. They're just getting everybody. Anybody that gets in the way. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. You need to wake up. Now, I'm going to keep reading. I have a lot of stuff that's still pertinent right now. And, the time's come. The time's come. I'll see you in the next video. I'm about out of time anyway.